Rob, of course, straight back into the thick of things on Easter Monday with a trip to Fylde. But, first off the back of Friday, obviously another good result. So I imagine the mood's been pretty positive in training today.
Yeah, it's been really good. Nice bit of weather, not too much wind. So a good recovery day for the lads that need it and a good training day for the lads who need a bit more in the legs. On reflection, fantastic week and probably even more pleased with the result, watching the game back in isolation. In terms of our shape in and out of possession and the way we controlled the game and ultimately managed the game, and the fact that we had two very tough, mentally stimulating games previously. So couldn't really ask more from the lads, but I'm going to, because we've got a really, really tough game tomorrow.
Yeah, you mentioned asking more of the lads there, but how much really does the two games, and obviously a third coming up in that short space of time, like how much does that actually kind of take out of the boys, especially the ones who've been playing back to back for like a month or more straight or whatever it's been?
Yeah, you have to freshen it up tomorrow. I think that's no secret. I think we got away with it, the last three games, just because of the results that we had to stick with sort of the same team, squad, etc. But no, it's I think especially knowing that Fylde will be one of the most testing games physically, because they're fantastic in transition. They've got high energy, especially at home. They like to go man for man, they like to pressure. So we know it's going to be a case of it's going to be fast in terms of we've got to move the ball quickly to control it, but we know they're always going to be on us, so you're not going to have time to settle. So physically and mentally we've got to be as sharp as possible, ready for that, because I have to say they're a very, very good team. I think they're a complete understanding of the way they are. They've had some really good results recently against good teams as well, and I think it's going to be a really tough day.
Yeah, and you mentioned Fylde a little bit there. Of course, they had a good result themselves at Oldham on Friday, and probably, as you mentioned there, it's probably one of those slightly strange ones come the end of the season where you look at the league table and see them somewhere in the middle, but when you actually look at it since the turn of the year, they're like second in the league, probably a bit similar to what we were last season, where second half of the season kicked in and you were right up there in terms of points gained from that point onwards.
Yeah, I think they're one of the most formed teams in the league for the last 3 months, so that shows consistency. It shows that they're a huge threat. Like I said to you before, they're so switched on out of possession and in possession as well. They're really clean. They've got loads of energy, really good runners. They're probably the best ball carrying team in the league in terms of 80% of their squad can pick the ball up and carry the ball well and carry the ball at pace, breaking lines. So we need to be really good in terms of stopping that. And then obviously, look, I think we know the conditions. The pitch hasn't been in the best condition. They get on top of you early doors, and we have to weather the first 10 minutes and understand that with everything that's gone on this week, it probably is our toughest test. Even regardless to what happened this week, I think they are a top team, and I think they're going to be tough opponents. But we've had that all pretty much said that before every game in terms of Alty, Hartlepool, Rochdale, all very good teams, and we've got the results. So we need to make sure that our mentality is the first thing, that we get that right, then we get our shape in that possession right, and then obviously we'll hopefully bring our quality and energy to nullify them.
Yeah, and from a crowd sort of fan base point of view this week, obviously a couple of good attendances in the home end on Tuesday and Friday. Look back to Altrincham last weekend and quite a good away following down there. Obviously with this being the bank holiday weekend, I would imagine it'll be the same again tomorrow. So how much of a part can they play in the running?
Massive. It's so huge. It's like it's a massive thing when you get momentum and you have the fans, the players, the staff, everyone together pushing forward, and it's exciting. We get into that business end of the season where it is exciting. It's a bit nervy as well because it's so close and so tight, but that's why we love football. And obviously we're just hoping as a group that we're able to play football and be a squad, be a team, be a club that the fans are proud of. And obviously we're very grateful for the fans that come every week, home and away. And obviously the away following this year, especially going into Monday, has been exceptional in terms of the distances travelled. It's actually a huge credit to our fans and the way they apply themselves at the games as well. So hopefully, we can go and get a result. And first and foremost, like I always say to the lads, put in the performance. The results will come if you keep the performances right. So that's the most important thing, is that the performance is right tomorrow. And if the performance is right, then we know that the results will obviously come. Sometimes you get a bit unlucky, and that's fine. But we just need to make sure we do our basics right, and then what follows from there is you get the fans on side and you get the feel good nature at the club, and understanding that if you don't get too high, too low, and you keep the performances steady, the results will come with that.
Yeah, and in terms of the team front, another new arrival ahead of Monday with Joe Cook coming in. Obviously recently been at Dorking, so another option for you to have in the defensive point of view.
Yeah, Cookie. To be brutally honest, it wasn't one that was on our radar until we saw he got released. And then, I think as soon as we saw that he'd left Dorking, we got Luke, again, done some brilliant work in sort of getting speaking, and watched all his games back, and obviously played against him anyway. And I think he fits the mould here really well. He's young, he's a really good footballer. He's aggressive, he's hungry, wants to do well, and he's fitted in really well. So it's good to add to the ranks, obviously, with losing Mams. We felt like we need to strengthen that area, because playing free at the back, just having that one centre half spare is not ideal with the amount of load we got. Had some good news with Joe Grayson as well. He had a scan, and the issue he had isn't as serious as we first thought, so that's good for Joe in terms of it's been frustrating for him, but we always said we'll do the right thing by the person, and now we know that Joe's almost got that clearance to play. We still need to manage him, but that's fantastic for us because he's been such a brilliant player for us all year. He had so much on that left side with his quality, so to have Joe Grayson and Cookie coming in to add to that group is fantastic, because ultimately we need the bodies, we need the right mentality in the group, and with the games coming up, like I said, everyone needs to be ready at any point, because you don't know when you're going to be called on, and whether you played the next 7 games in a row, whether you come on for 1 minute in a game, that 1 minute might be the most important minute of our season. And I've got to give the lads credit because they're really buying into that.